All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most frustrating bottlenecks for pretty much every content creator out there: video editing. Today, we're going to break down how a whole new wave of AI tools can literally transform your workflow from a multi-hour grind into something you can do in just a few minutes. Okay, let's get into it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you still spending hours of your life hunched over a timeline, scrubbing through footage, trying to find those little golden nuggets? If that's you, hey, you're not alone, but you're about to find out there's a much, much smarter way to get this done. Because let's be real for a second, that whole manual process, it isn't just slow. It's a total drain on your creative energy. Every minute you spend on some tedious cut or typing out captions, that's a minute you're not spending on your next big idea. Now, to really appreciate how amazing the solution is, we first have to really get honest about the problem. So let's take a look at the classic old school editing workflow and see exactly where all that time just disappears. And the cost of that time is just staggering. I mean, this quote isn't an exaggeration. For so many creators, turning one long video into a few short clips genuinely takes up half of their workday. It's not sustainable, especially if you're trying to keep up with the constant demand from platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. And this, right here, this is what we call the editing trap. It's not just the mind-numbing hours of scrubbing through footage or that soul-crushing job of typing out subtitles. No, it's the creative burnout that comes next. And that burnout leads to an inconsistent upload schedule, which just stalls your channel's growth. It's a really vicious cycle. But what if you could just break that cycle? What if you had a dedicated team that worked for you around the clock, 24/7, finding all your best moments for you? Well, that's pretty much exactly what these AI-powered editing tools are offering. So what is an AI auto clipper? Think of it like your own personal editing assistant. It scans your long-form videos, figures out which parts are the most engaging or have the best shot at going viral, and then it packages them up into perfect little short clips. It does all the grunt work so you can finally get back to actually creating. And this isn't some kind of far-off futuristic technology we're talking about. It is here right now. Tools like Nexus Clips and Opus Clip are at the front of the pack, making all this powerful automation super accessible for any creator. So how does this all actually work? You might be thinking it sounds really complex, but honestly, the biggest revolution here is how simple it is. We can break the entire process down into just 3 dead simple steps. Yep, that's it. You paste a link, you let the AI work its magic and generate clips, and then you just finalize and export. Let's dig into each of those steps real quick. Okay, step 1 couldn't be any easier. You don't have to download these massive multi-gigabyte video files anymore. You just find your video on YouTube or wherever, copy the URL, and paste it right into the AI tool. Seriously, that's all the work you have to do to get started. Now, this is where it gets really cool. This is where the magic happens. The AI kicks in and automatically transcribes your entire video. But it's doing so much more than just listening for words. It's analyzing everything: your tone of voice, any questions you ask, trending keywords. It's basically cross-referencing your content against this huge database of videos that have already gone viral. And here's where the automation goes to the next level. The AI doesn't just pick the clips, it completely reformats them for you. It automatically reframes the shot to keep your face perfectly centered. It resizes the whole thing to that super important 9:16 vertical format. And it adds those flashy, colorful subtitles that you know are absolutely essential for grabbing attention on mobile. And we're not talking about getting, 1 or 2 clips out of a video. From just one single piece of long-form content, these tools will typically spit out anywhere from 10 to 40, 40 unique, high-quality short clips. That is a ton of content from a single source. The final step is where you get back in the driver's seat, but without any of the hard work. You can quickly look over the clips, make a few little tweaks if you want, like maybe fix one word in the subtitles or change a color to match your brand, and then you just smash that export button. The whole process is incredibly fast and intuitive. So, what does all this add up to? Well, when you start using a workflow like this, you're not just saving a little time. You're completely changing your entire content strategy. You are building a content machine. And this right here is the ultimate payoff. With the insane volume of clips you can generate this quickly, you could literally create and schedule an entire month's worth of daily content in less than 10 minutes. Just let that sink in. 30 days of content, all done in the time it takes you to drink your morning coffee. And this comparison just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? You go from 5+ hours of manual labor down to less than 10 minutes. You swap that constant risk of burnout for actual creative freedom. And you replace a stressful, inconsistent schedule with a steady stream of daily content, which, by the way, is exactly what the algorithms love to see for channel growth. So the most important point here is this. The goal isn't just to pump out more clips for the sake of it. The real prize is reclaiming all those hours you were losing to boring, repetitive tasks and then reinvesting that time and energy back into what you're actually good at, coming up with great ideas and making awesome original stuff. And that really brings us to the final question, the one I want to leave you with. When you totally remove your single biggest bottleneck, when all that repetitive work is just handled for you, what else becomes possible? With all of that time and all that creative energy back in your pocket, what will you create next?